This is not the first country whose head of state has family. Soyinka blasts Tinubu over Tinubu's military convoy. So guys, Nobel laureate Soyinka has criticized what he described as the excessive deployment of armed security personnel around the family of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying the display reflects poorly on Nigerian security priorities and architecture. Speaking on Tuesday at the 20th Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalists award held in Lagos, Soyinka recounted a recent incident in which he observed heavy-duty protection for Tinubu's son at a hotel in Ikoyi. He said, "I was coming out of my hotel and I saw what looked like a film set. And I said, oh, they are shooting a film on the ground of the hotel." And a young man detached himself from the actors, came over and greeted me very politely. A very nice young man. And I said, "Are you shooting someone?" I said, "I am just joking." "Are you shooting a film?" No, I looked around and there was nearly a whole uh, battalion occupying the grounds of the hotel in Ikoyi. So when I got back in my car and I asked the driver who that young man was, and he told me, and I saw the SWAT team, a mixture. They were heavily armed, at least some 15 or so heavily armed to the teeth. Security personnel looked sufficient to take over a small country neighboring city like Benin. According to Soyinka, he was surprised that he considered reaching out to the National Security Advisor to confirm whether the deployment was official and justifiable. He said, "I was so surprised that I started looking for the National Security Advisor. I said, track him down for me. I think they got him somewhere in Paris, but he was with the president. He was in a meeting. Then I said, I have just seen something I can't believe. I don't understand." And I described the same to him. I said, "Do you mean that a child of the head of a state goes around with an army for his protection or whatever?" I could not believe it. So later on, I did some investigative journalism and I found that apparently this is how this young man goes around with his battalion, his heavily armed soldiers. He joked that the president should have mobilized the security details around the sun to confront threats in countries like the Benin Republic. Soyinka said, "Tinubu don't have to send the Air Force and the military to deal with this particular installation, this threat to our own scene of security and equilibrium. No, there is an easier way to do it. Let me tell you where Tinubu should look for forces to wear that installation right now in Lagos or in Abuja perhaps. And I think next time there is an installation, I think the president should just call that young man and say, Sheyi, go and put those stupid people there. You have troops under your command." Soyinka stressed that why presidents around the world have families, the privilege must not be abused. He added, "This is not the first country whose head of state has family. Children should know their place. They are not uh, potentates. They are not the head of state. The security architecture of a nation suffers when we see such heavy, devotion of security to one young individual." You see, these are the things we are talking about. These people feel that the country is their private property. You imagine the president's son, having more than 15 soldiers guiding him for what? For what? See, the man jokingly said, instead of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to uh, direct soldiers to Benin Republic, he should have asked Seyi Tinubu to command the soldiers for that. I know that one is a joke. He's just trying to let President Bola Ahmed Tinubu say, no, this is very wrong. How did we get here? How did we get here? And now, what about the army? What about the soldiers? What about the army guiding this man? Because they are under command. So that is the problem. Can I say, I don't just know what's happening in this country. See, the other day, the president's wife, a kind of harassed a constituted governor. You came, in fact, I don't want to say that, honestly speaking. Thank you. See you in my next video, and bye for now.